Hello and welcome back to another video. You know, every time I say welcome, I think of that guy from Lord of the Rings, you know, the Mouth of Sauron. When he comes out, he's like, "My master bids thee welcome." Every time, I can't help it. So I hope I don't bear that much resemblance to him, but welcome. So a big part of being self-employed and freelance is organising your money, knowing what you have coming in, what you have going out, and making sure that those two, most of the time, add up. So particularly in the freelance space, what you earn from month to month can vary wildly, particularly on different times of year, like December, busy month, but also big expense month. That's okay. January comes around, we don't earn anything, but we also don't really have to spend much because it's cold and gross and nobody wants to go outside. So that's great. But from a month to month basis, you need to know what you've got coming in, what you've got going out, and how best to manage those. So I thought I would just talk through the few things that I do. This has been an absolute learn on the job process. I've never been the best at saving money and, you know, just knowing what I've got. So that's been something that I really had to learn, but I now feel like I've got a few things which are really helpful that I hope to pass on to you, the good people of YouTube that seem to be enjoying these videos so far. So that's quite nice. So I have an Excel spreadsheet that I fill out every month, mostly. Sometimes I have to catch up on a couple, but you know, that's fine. And I put all of my income and my expenses into said spreadsheet. There are formulas built into this spreadsheet that then tell me how much I need to put aside for tax and national insurance, so that when tax return comes around, it's not a big shock. Now, how you like to have all of these things kind of set out can be really personal, but if anybody would like a copy of the spreadsheet that I use, then if you go to my blog, then you can get in contact with me through there. I'll put a link below. And yeah, I will be more than happy to send it to you. It's, you know, nothing special, but sometimes just having a base to go off can be really helpful. So yeah, let me know and I will be more than happy to send that to you. Having a work account that's separate from your personal kind of everyday bank account can just be so helpful and make your life so much easier, because it's really clear what you've got coming in, what you've got going out. That's all there is on that account. And it also just makes filling out your tax return so much easier, because you can just quickly scan through everything and you're not having to think, oh, that was just the food shop or whatever, you know, stuff which is not expensible. It makes it so much clearer, and for me has been one of the biggest game changers. Now, to credit card or not to credit card, they can be really tricky. And if you know that you're somebody who may just see it as free money, then don't go anywhere near them. Stay away, stick to your debit card, and keeping in control of your finances will be much easier. You need to be honest with yourself on this one, because credit card debt is real and it's no joke, and it's very easy to slip into. So if you know that it might be a problem for you, then just don't bother with it at all, because they're not strictly necessary. However, they can be really helpful. For me, I often have to book my accommodation and my travel in advance of being paid for them. So if I'm traveling, and particularly if there's flights involved, often you have to pay for those flights, and then obviously the orchestra or whoever you're going to work for pays you back. But obviously that means that you have to fit the bill first, and if it's last minute travel, this can be incredibly expensive. So there are many situations where I actually wouldn't be able to pay for those flights or those train tickets, whatever, upfront out of my direct bank account. So therefore paying for them on a credit card just means that money is kind of held, and then obviously I can pay that back once I've been paid from the orchestra. I'm currently using a Virgin Money credit card, obviously not sponsored, not an advert in any way, shape or form, but I found them to be really, really helpful because they have a MasterCard one, which basically means that you can use it abroad and the fees are not nearly as scary. And also you can choose to have a black credit card, which just makes me feel really fancy. Now I know, a freelancer with savings. What is this magical unicorn you speak of? I have to credit my husband with showing me the importance of savings and how vital they are and just how much of a peace of mind they can give you for those times like we find ourselves now, for example, of when you are very, very glad that you have even just a little bit of money set aside. Now, I know that there are situations and there are months when it is just not possible to save anything, and I do really, really get that, and I've been in that position. But if you are able to even literally like £1 a month or £1 a week, if you are able to do that, that can just mean the difference between being able to buy a week's food shop or getting further into your overdraft. Genuinely, it can make that big of a difference. So just have a look. Again, get your Excel spreadsheet out, work out where the little places are that you can save something. See if your bank does the sort of feature of when you spend something on your card, it'll round it up to the nearest pound and it'll put that into a savings account for you. That can make a massive difference. I know Monzo does it, I think Nationwide does it as well, and I think Lloyd's does. So have a little bit of a look around, see if your bank will, and use that feature. You'll be amazed at how quickly that all adds up. It's also important to save because as freelancers, pensions. Now, I know that you don't really want to be thinking about your pension right now, but you need to be. At the moment, if you live in the UK, you are entitled to a state pension. However, I think I've said it before, I wouldn't pin all our hopes on this because the amount that we will get has already started to kind of come down. 2016, it took quite a big hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again. So obviously, hopefully there will be something available to us, but I wouldn't rely on it. So get yourself online. There are loads and loads of sites with advice on pensions and savings, and again, I will link the government one below. And there are lots and lots of schemes where, you know, you pay in and then the government match it, a bit like a Help to Buy but a pension. There are loads of things like that, so check them out and get on it because you need to have money to live on when you can no longer work. So check them out, please, please, please. It is so, so important, and I know it feels a bit weird to be thinking about your pension, but it's absolutely vital. Also worth stating, and you'll have heard this said before, but make sure that you put away your savings before you spend stuff. So as soon as that paycheck comes in, put away an amount of it, however much that is, if it's £1, if it's £10, whatever, put that aside as soon as it comes in, before you work out your expenditure and everything else. Obviously within reason, make sure you pay your rent, but before you work out your kind of, you know, your chill money and your spending money, put away your savings. It is so much easier to do it that way around than to kind of get to the, you know, end of the month or whenever you try and organize things and then try and put some money away. You won't be putting away nearly as much, and to be honest, you'll probably have just bought a load of stuff that you don't really need, and that money would have been much, much better going to savings. It's boring, I know, but we're trying to adult here. Now, this can look very, very different for different people. I know that some people literally work out their weekly wage and pay that to themselves, again, taking it from their work account into their everyday account, and that's how they do it. Now, that's fine if your income is quite sort of reliable or quite consistent. Now, if you're like me and that is not the case, another really helpful way of doing it is to basically pay yourself pocket money. What we do, so my husband and I each have a Monzo card that every month we put an amount onto, and that is our spending money. So I can spend my Monzo money on whatever I want. So normally that's probably like clothes or makeup or takeaway coffees or books or something, you know, something that I really want to get that basically doesn't benefit us as a family at all. I just want to spend it. So for us, we found that to be really helpful. And again, it just helps you know where all your money is going and to manage it more clearly. And that's it for this one, kind of short and sweet. So as always, I hope you found this really helpful. If you have any questions or tips or tricks or anything that you want to add, please comment them below, and I shall see you in the next one. I'm going to be sort of filming quite a lot over the next few weeks because I have nothing else to do. So if there's anything that you would like to see a video on, then please let me know and I will get that filmed for you. So yeah, see you guys soon. Bye. I can spend my Monzo money, it is hot.